Well, good morning, boys and girls. I hope you can hear me okay. Hey, I was going to have my friend Mark from La Union Vlog on the channel, and he still may be. We were testing it out for 30 minutes and seeing, we got him on, we got everything cool, except for his audio wasn't working. So this is a guy that's been living in the Philippines for 1 year. And he's a super cool guy. He's been, I guess he's been following my channel. He was giving me some advice and inviting me over to where he lives when the pandemic ends. And I chatted with him for a little while last night. And I said, you know what, dude, I'd love to have you on the show. And he agreed. And at about 8 o'clock this morning, it's now 8:46. We were trying to just do a little test run, and he was still having issues with the audio. I couldn't hear him. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. He's going to send me a message on Messenger here if he can figure it out. I'll try to, but let me bring him up real quick so you guys can see who I'm talking about. It's this handsome young man right there.
Can you hear me?
Can you there? It's still not. I still can't hear you.
Darn it. I'm trying.
What's the deal is? So anyway, here we are in the age of communication, and we can't communicate.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've been living here for a year, and you've got a vlog, and so I'm going to put a link to your channel in the description box after I get done with this, and then just keep me posted right here on Messenger if things change on your end. Okay, buddy?
Okay, thanks.
San Juan, La Union. In the house, but quiet as a mouse. So I guess we'll change topics. I don't know. All right, you can hear me? Good. Thanks, guys. Oh, you can hear him. You can hear both of us. Audio good. Okay. Well, I can't hear him for shit. So they can hear you.
People can hear me.
So
That's
maybe it's
strange.
on my end. Wouldn't that be it's nothing new.
Well,
there.
you're using May's
So
computer.
they can hear
maybe,
you, brother. I can't hear your answers though. Totally weird. You guys can hear both. All right, good. So this will be different. I will ask him questions. I will not be able to hear his answers. Something's going on my end. I don't know. I'm using May's computer. My computer completely melted down, and I took it in to get it fixed yesterday, and they said no. All right. So why don't we do this? Mark, go ahead.
Maybe your speakers are muted.
Tell everybody who you are, what you are, and what's going on. And then when you're done talking, give me a thumbs up because I can't hear you.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Paul, even though he can't hear me, for bringing me in. I've only been up for like maybe, I don't know, an hour and a half. I have a second cup of coffee. And Paul was nice enough to let me join him on his channel. He wanted to talk about my first year here. And I was like, okay, I'll come on and talk about it. But he can't really ask any questions. So I'm here in San Juan, La Union, and it's a province north of Manila. And I've been here a year. I got here in like February 1st. And he was like, he wanted to go over like my first year here. And I got here right before the pandemic. So everything, was open and life was pretty much normal. And then the pandemic hit. Everything changed. So up here, why I chose this area. I don't know if you can hear me. Hey, can you?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm going to keep talking. I'm not sure if I'm muted or not, but I moved here for the surfing. So I looked all over the Philippines for. Go ahead and turn that down. Yeah. I moved here for the surfing. I've been a surfer for some 35 years, and I came up here. It's about 4 hours north of Manila, and it's in the province of La Union. And I live in a small town called San Juan. The nearest town to me would be San Fernando, and that's like 160,000 people. I moved up here because of the surfing culture. There's a Wallace Air Station, and it was a U.S. base up here. And back in the 70s and early 80s, a lot of U.S. servicemen, Air Force, would bring their surfboards out here and would surf the local breaks. And what happened is it became a culture. An Air Force person would leave, go back home, and they would leave their board with a local. And Filipinos started surfing here. And so this area became known as the surfing capital of the North. And it's a really big tourist destination, but mainly for Filipinos. I would say my area here in the surf season is October through February. I'm watching Paul's screen here, and he disappeared, and he came back on. So I moved up here for the surf scene, and there's more than just surfing here. When I got here, I didn't even bring a board. I had planned to go back in June and then get my surfboard and wetsuit. And you don't really need a wetsuit, but like surfing accessories, and bring all that back. So they have a guy here. His name's Tick Boy, and he went ahead and shaped me up a board. And so I got actually two boards. I bought a used board when I got here, and I've been using that. And then I went ahead and had one shaped for me, which is crazy because it's just a small little province. I'm not sure how many people live in San Juan. Maybe 10 or 20. And 10 or 20,000. He shapes for a local community up here. If you're interested in like a price, like a longboard shaped for you, 5,000 pesos, like 500 bucks, a little over that maybe. He's got to get fins and a leash and stuff. So anyway, I moved up here and started surfing and everything. And when pandemic hit, things changed. Paul's laughing. I wonder if he can hear me.
Yeah, I'm listening to you on my phone.
Oh, okay. So Paul can hear me on the phone. This is weird.
One of our technical experts. That's why they're getting echo.
Hey, actually, I can hear you, so you can ask questions now.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it off because it's echoey.
Okay. Well, we can do it another time if you want, you know.
All right. So I have no idea what you were talking about. which is I don't have an earphone. So anyway, I'm assuming you're talking about surfing.
Right.
Okay. And I just want to know what your motivation was for coming to the Philippines. That's question number one.
Okay. I was in the States, and I was, working like everybody else, doing the 9-to-5 job, and a few key things happened in life. I don't want to keep have it be depressing, but my mom passed away, and I had another friend who was 60, and I used to play music with. That kind of, combined with just, not being happy at work, wanting to retire, made me take the jump. And I went ahead and one day just kind of went into work and had it up to here with work, and thought life was short, and put in my retirement papers. And then like 4 months with my brother and kind of prepared. And I ended up coming out to the Philippines for a 1-month trial. So now I'm full screen. Anyway, so I went ahead and did the whole 1-month trial, and that's kind of, without getting in depth, I was just tired of working. And in the States, you can, I don't know, I was just getting up really early, and then I was working all day, getting home really late, going to the gym, and it's just kind of use the weekend to just catch up on everything. And I wasn't enjoying life. And I was like, you only live once. And I pulled the plug. I was like, I watched a lot of budget videos, and I've been over to the Philippines several times. I was in the Navy back in 87 to 92. And I really enjoyed the Philippines. And I'd been over to the Philippines, other places, out on vacation and for diving. And it's just, my motivation was to enjoy life. It says, Mark, tell your story. It's all good. Okay. I think, and I'm watching the screen, and then there, he's back. But anyway, that was my motivation. As far as, that's kind of why. And then for my motivation was, I could live on a budget. I had to take a smaller pension. I was a state employee for the state of California. And my motivation was, I could move over here and live on a small pension comfortably, have a better quality of life. I would be able to, I wouldn't spend my whole day working from 9 to 5. I could surf. There's a gym here, and I could go to the gym. And I needed something new, and I was watching other vloggers and living their life over here. And I'm like, I can do that, and it really is. It's just, you got to take, that's all. Can you hear me, Paul?
All right, so anyway, he's going to try to find me some microphones or earphones or something like that for my phone so we can stop the audio.
Okay.
Hopefully your story was really cool. I'll listen to it on the playback. First time I'll ever watch one of my own shows. But you know what? This is how we roll here at the Old Dog Channel. We don't screw around. When we screw up big. All right, kids? So I'm using Baby May's computer, and I have no idea what her settings are. Mine went down the other day, and but it's all good, as long as we all have a good time and don't take it too seriously. And we will straighten this out, and you and I will have a conversation here where I can hear you. And then May's going to look for some earbuds for my phone so that maybe I can tune in and we can get going. But you're doing a good job here, apparently. And let's see. So you're a surfer. I'm going to try to. I'll just fake it as I go along here because I have no idea what you said. If you want to
bring another question.
How did you choose? I'll just ask you another question. Did you do a lot of research prior to coming out? And if you did, what made you choose where you're living now in the Philippines? Why did you locate there? I'm going to assume it's because of the surfing conditions, because that's what you do. But I don't want to assume anything on anybody. And we want to thank Corey here for the donation. We appreciate that, brother, very much. It'll go towards my rehabilitation. And the psych unit will be happy to get another payment from me. But before he gets into that, speaking of donations, I've come up with something. I've come up with a deal for Baby May's channel, that because all the money that ever comes in goes to Baby May. And so what was I going to tell you? Oh, I came up with a subscriber came up with an idea of a product, if you will. And we're not going to sell anything on the channel. That's not our deal. But we are going to go above and beyond, I think, the typical shout out. So when someone is kind to Baby May or is just a cool person, doesn't mean a monetary gift. It just means someone like our guest today, Mark, who's always been, there with nice comments and chatted me up. And we appreciate you. It's just the fact that you follow the channel. You're encouraging. You're always nice to Baby May, like my friend Ian. So many people like that. That's what we really value. And we thought, people have coffee mugs and pins and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. And I had I'm not going to tell you what it is, but tomorrow is my birthday. So tomorrow, Baby May is taking me to a resort, and we're going to celebrate there. And we're going to do some vlogging there. But we're going to come up with a special gift, if you will, for certain people, just for certain reasons. And I can't tell you what it is because the idea will get hijacked by other people. So anyway, if you're comfortable with it, May's looking for some earbuds. I don't know where she went. Maybe she went to the store for all I know. I think she's got a pair. But maybe you can go over why you chose where you're living, what the motivation was for that. And guys are always interested in budgets. I don't know if you're comfortable talking about that or not, but if you are, cool. If you're not, just say so. And then, so I'll leave the conversation for a little while, and you rock on, and I'll be back.
It's so funny. I know Roger. I can see your thing up there. One of the motivations for coming here is definitely surfing. But why I chose this location had a lot to do with a variety of factors. Like, when I was 20 or 30, I would have probably picked Siargao because it's an island with a lot of breaks, and it's, the white beaches with the palm trees and coconuts and everything on the beach. But, I'm 50. I'm 51, I'm sorry, 51. And San Juan, La Union has a variety of things. So, like I was telling before, I did a 30-day trip out here just to go look at other places to, retire at and surf. And I went to first, I'll tell you a failure, was Belair. Now, Belair is very beautiful. It's a different province. But the problem with Belair is they got a Chow King, they got a Jollibee, and a 7-Eleven. That's it. Of course, they got their public market and stuff, but it's not the same as having like an SM or a mall, being able to go to the movies, those kind of things. And they didn't have hospitals. They had like a clinic, maybe a local, very rudimental hospital. But I was looking kind of for a full package, like, two a day, maybe do 2 sessions. So you do like, say, I don't know, 4 hours of surfing. After that, what do you do? You know, there's only so much cold beer, right? So after surfing, you want to, go to the mall, chill out. There's malls here. San Juan, La Union is only 10 minutes north of San Fernando. So what I liked about this area was first, on that 30-day trip, I went to Belair and I spent a week there. And what I found was if I get hurt surfing or need some medical emergency, it's 5 hours all the way to Manila. If there's no waves or anything, there really wasn't much to do. I mean, you could do what locals do. I wanted a mall. I wanted live music, maybe some resorts, other expats for surfing. So it's a much smaller province area. And so when I came to San Juan, La Union, they had everything. I stayed here for 2 or 3 weeks, and the longer I stayed, the more it felt like home. They have, great restaurants, and I should be on the tourism board for La Union. But yeah, I mean, they have resorts on the beach, and it's down. There's no traffic. You can just, ride from here to there and hop on the highway, and you can be anywhere around here within, 10 to 15 minutes. I have a mountain bike. I could just ride my mountain bike right down to the market, get fruits, vegetables. I can go to the meat market, and that is for meat, like, chicken, pork, and all that, and then just come home. I can even ride my bike to the gym. The gym was another thing. They have a really nice gym here, and in Belair they didn't. So I was looking for kind of a full package, and I knew as I got older, being medical, like hospitals and stuff, is important. Here in San Juan, La Union, there's 2 really major hospitals. There's Lorma, and another one. It's like a provincial hospital, and you can go there and they have everything. I mean, if you break an arm, break a leg, or you need medical attention, I'm only like 10 or 15 minutes from Lorma, which is a really nice private hospital. And if it's anything major or something, like Clark and the Doctor's Hospital and all that, is only 3 or 4 hours, right down the highway. So medical attention and hospitals, malls. Here, there's 2 malls. One of the malls, I'm reading Billy Hayes. Hey, Mark, we're on the other side of San Fernando. Right on. Right there in San Fernando, you got 2 malls. You got Monomall and CSI. And before the pandemic, you can go to CSI Mall, and they have a movie theater. They got, KFC, McDonald's. They got Shakey's. None of that exists in the other surfing locations. They're kind of more rudimental. I enjoy the mall experience. I mean, you go and have a coffee. You want to go to the supermarket. Just those kind of things. You want to get a brand new cell phone, whatever it is. Do maintenance on your laptop. Any of these things that would be pretty easy if you're in a big town, you can't do in Belair or Siargao. Nothing to diss those places. They got really beautiful beaches. But like I said, I didn't want to be without that. So the other factor was, there is an expat community. Corey Smith, thank you. The expat community here is real cool. Like in the first couple months, I'd paddle out, and I met Roger. He's already commented on here. I was surprised he's watching. And yeah, it's funny. You can go paddle out, be waiting for a wave, and I'm surfing with 5 or 6 different countries. Like I paddle out, and I'm like, hey, good morning, Roger. He's from Australia. Another guy, Rory, he's from, get this, Scotland. He's living here. And then there's another guy, Marcos. He's, and and there's a bunch more Australians here. There's a couple surfers from America, and yeah, of course you got Filipinos, and they're great surfers. They've come here and started surfing. You got second generation Filipino and Filipina surfers, and girl surfers. So when they say Filipinos or Filipinas can't swim, not true. There's a bunch that can swim. So that's kind of the factors, and all around. Plus they have a nightlife here for live music. Paul's back. I'm curious if he can hear me. He's messing with the settings. Can you hear me, Paul?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
No, I actually may found some. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
All right, cool.
It's nice to have you back to your own show.
So
it's funny. Well, you were.
What's going on here on my channel? Anybody know?
Can't find any business they can say. I was just telling you why I chose this area, and it's kind of like Dumageddon, You have
myself. I should just remove myself from the whole deal.
I feel like I've taken over your show. But the nice thing about here is it has surfing, which is what I really wanted, and it has hospitals,
Perfect.
medical. Yeah, you got to fill up the day with something, and it has malls and shopping, live entertainment, resorts. It even has diving, so when the waves are small, you can dive. Other things when you live here in San Juan, you're really close to awesome places like Baguio. It's 2 hours. Can you hear me, Paul? Yeah. All right. Cool.
Did you go over budget at all?
What?
Yeah. It's delayed.
Oh, okay. I think, there's probably a delay. But, this place is, I really enjoy it. It feels like home.
Your monthly budget, or is that not something we want to talk about?
Yeah, actually, I have done 2 budget videos, so I can talk about that. It's out there. I moved here. I have a pension from the state, and I live on $1,300 a month, and it's really comfortable. I eat out once a week, and $1,300 is really for 2. I mean, that's me and my girlfriend. So it's affordable. Some months, like you said, there's always that stuff happens, Surprise, you need a new water pump and stuff like that. I watch your budget videos and stuff like that, and it's the same, I mean, here, my rent is $400 a month, 20,000 pesos. So it's the same as yours. My food is $300 for 2 people. My air conditioning is I would say 4,000. So if you add it all up, I spend, and that's with $100 budget cushion, the something happens thing, miscellaneous, $1,300 a month. Right. During pandemic, I was spending $900 a month. But then after the pandemic, I've been. Go ahead, Paul. Good morning, Joseph.
I'm sorry, because we're on a delay, so this whole thing's kind of out of whack. But Let's see. So you're on a pension,
Right.
$1,300 a month. I've put mine at $1,500 a month. Sometimes on Social Security, I've got 4 weeks between paychecks, and other months I've got 5 weeks. So that factors into how I play with the money. Um, have you found that to be something that you take into consideration? Are you getting Social Security the same as me? You got the 4 week paycheck and then the 5 week paycheck.
Well, I'm 51, so like my pension is from just the state, and I get paid every month, so once a month, and then I do get a small amount. I'm a disabled Navy veteran, so I get an extra like 140 from that.
Oh,
So really, I have maybe 1,400, about that, but I try to budget 1,300.
okay.
Save 100 a month.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, the normal, like you and anybody else recommends, I have savings and some investments that I can get at if I need to. Living here where I live in San Juan,
Mhm.
it's like you, it's provincial, it's not the
I
cost of,
put
say,
Carlo in. I don't know why I did this.
uh-oh, someone's on a timeout.
Sorry, Carlo. That was by accident.
I have,
All right.
I have a little, I have a little hearing loss.
You're a young guy. Which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if you call 51 young,
Yeah,
our
I do.
union,
I'm sick. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna let these guys ask you some questions. I'm going to take myself out of this, and I
okay.
want this to be more about you. So you can tell them the name of your channel, and then
Oh, okay.
there are some questions that are coming in, and I think it would just be
Mhm.
less confusing for everybody if we just kind of turn this into your interview, and let these
Sure.
guys ask you and get to know you better. How's that sound? Fair enough?
Perfect.
All right.
All right. So, see, I'll go ahead and take questions from anybody. I know a lot of Paul's viewers. Mark's a cool guy. Hey, thanks, Jack G. I'm just a surfer from California, and I retired at 51, and I live here in the Philippines. It's just a different area. Paul's, a lot of his viewers are interested in the Dumaguete area, and I think that's a great area too, especially like if you're into scuba diving and you like provincial living, and then you have city life too. Let's see, Mark Glenn, thanks for the question. What do people retiring from U.S. do for health care, considering you're going to lose your Medicare? I'm a Navy veteran, so I can go ahead and use what's called the VA system. And there's a VA hospital in Manila. I'm not an expert on where to go there at the VA. I haven't been able to get set up just because of the pandemic and everything. I have not left this area for a year. So I'm hoping once the buses start rolling and things like that, I'll go down there, and I hear I can get a checkup every 6 months. They do like blood work, and you can get prescriptions. I just been buying prescriptions here at the local pharmacy, and like I got blood pressure and levothyroxine for like a thyroid thing, and I pay $12 a month. It's affordable. Mark, any ideas on fishing? It's funny you mentioned that. So here, fishing, just one town north of me, Tab Oak, is a big fishing village, and I go up there. There's a surf break there also, and there's guys. they bring you can get like a little pole and reel, and from Lazada or Shopee. And I see guys, there's a lady down on the beach. She goes fishing like every evening, and she catches, so big, they use shrimp for bait. And you can, if fishing's your thing, you get a lawn chair. I'm a 3-minute walk to the beach, and put your lawn chair out there with your choice of beverage, and people fish right here off the beach, and they catch things. You can also like get a local bunker boat here. I think for a couple $1,000 you can talk to somebody. I was actually out surfing, and it was really small, so I paddled all the way out to a fishing boat out there, and there was a guy on there with his kid and another friend, and they were just hand fishing. They had this round wheel, and they put the string around it, and they had this bunch of hooks on it with like it was like shiny colored threads. It was like a jig, and they just back and forth, and they were catching fish right off the bunker boat, and it was just a 10-minute paddle out to the ocean. Out and fish. And if you can't catch any fish, there's a fish market. We usually just buy our fish at the fish market, but yeah, there's fishing. If anybody has any other questions, like about the area, like that, feel free to pop them up there, and I can answer any questions about like La Union area, what to do, anything, or budget. Hey Paul, thanks for the question. Mark, you ever been or go down to San Fabian, not far from La Union? You know San Fabian? It's south of here. I haven't been down there just due to the pandemic, but down in that area, I know that'd be close to 100 Islands, the leap-off point for that. But no, I'm sorry, I haven't been to San Fabian. But I'll put it on my list to do, definitely. Maybe you can let me know what there is to go and see there. Oh, what's the name of my YouTube channel? I'm just so happy to be on Paul's channel. I've been saying, okay, so I am a vlogger. My YouTube channel is San Juan La Union Vlog. So it's just the name of the place here, San Juan La Union Vlog. And if you type that in there, you'll find me. Very simple channel. I have over like 170 videos. I have 2 budget videos, so if you want to know what the cost of living for here is, I go over really detailed, and I pop stuff up on the screen, and how much each thing is, and get pretty detailed. So watch those if you're interested in this area. I do surfing videos. I do videos on new restaurants that open here, live entertainment. I go to the mall, I'll show you the mall here. I do some driving videos. Up north is Luna, and they got this place called Pebble Beach. Really cool. The water's super clear. And another thing called Noble Tower. I want to go, there's a waterfall up here, Tangadan Waterfalls, and I'm hoping to make it up there as soon as, the pandemic goes ahead and, lets down and we're able to travel again. Right now, it's just opening. St. Gregory, thanks. They're really known for being super friendly and helpful. I moved here, and I know a lot of people move here and then they have a girlfriend or a wife or fiance. I moved here. I knew one surfer from a trip 15 years ago here. So when I moved here, I knew no one. And I got here and I had an unfurnished apartment. There was a guy that worked there. He kept care of the grounds and the place, and he helped me like go to the mall, Another guy helped me with all the surf breaks, where to go. Another guy sold me his car. People just help you, you know. San Juan La Union vlog. Oh, thanks, Darren's Travels. You put up my link there. All right, Lee Hill. Let's see here. Is English widely spoken there? You know, everybody here speaks English. To what degree? It kind of depends on, you know, their educational upbringing. If they had college, they can speak a really high level, just, you know, like if you were in the U. But everybody here speaks English. They have the Ilocano people have a different dialect. So they speak Tagalog and they speak Ilocano. So if you can speak Tagalog here and they'll understand it, but you can speak English anywhere. I go to the market and I just, you know, hey, how much is this? And you don't have to say, you know, Makano ito or, you know, speak Tagalog. It's nice if you do. People love that. It shows respect that when you're here, you're learning their language and you're making an effort. But yeah, you can speak English anywhere here and people understand. Sometimes you get that deer in the headlights look, the nosebleed, but you know, they're trying to speak your language. So everybody here is really nice and everybody speaks English. Let's see, Bill Pruitt. Everyone speaks English, but some are embarrassed to. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not that they're embarrassed. It's they're shy. You know, it's not their native tongue, and they would, of course, be able to have a deeper conversation, maybe in Tagalog or their respective dialect. But you can have really great conversations with just about anybody here in the Philippines, I would say, in English. That's one of the reasons I chose the Philippines to retire. You know, there are other surfing destinations out there like Fiji. They got bigger surf. You got Indonesia nearby, really big surf and good surf. But, you know, English isn't as widely spoken. And here in the Philippines, you know, you can go to the market, go anywhere, and English is really good. MJ, you seem very even-keeled, calming, and knowledgeable. I subscribe to you. Hey, thanks for the subscription. I just have a small channel. I didn't move here to vlog. I really didn't. I was busy. When I got here in February, I was surfing. The waves were big, and I didn't move here to be a vlogger at all. What happened is I got bored. You're locked in a small apartment. You can't go anywhere. But you got all the vlogging material. You got a laptop, you got a phone. And I just started doing a few videos, and people started watching, and kept my mind busy during lockdown. That's how I got started. Hey, man, I just subscribed to your vlog. Sounds like the content's right. Hey, Mr. Darcy, thanks. I appreciate that. I was just happy to go on Paul's channel, really. Ko Tao Murders Death Island. I'm shy speaking English with Paul. That's a good comment. I was surprised because I came on Paul's show here, and one of my surfer friends, Roger, he's an Australian, and he's from, you know, obviously Australia. He's just the nicest guy, and it's funny. Here, it's so easy to meet like expats too. Thumbs up. Joe Bananas. Thanks, Joe Bananas. Thanks for the comment. But it's funny that like people that are popping up here and making comments, I think some of you have seen my channel. Hey, Mike. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, it's when I started vlogging, I did one of my first videos. It's really funny, and you can check it out. It was how many flavors of Tang there are here in the Philippines. And I probably should have taken it down, but I was so amazed that there's like 20 different flavors of Tang here. And in the U.S., there's just orange, but they got, pineapple, they got mango, they got calamansi, you name it, they got it here. 20 different flavors. How's the weather there in La Union? You know what? This time of year, the weather here is perfect. Like last night, I would say it was 68 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe even a little cooler. And I'm looking outside. It's sunny out right now. And the daytime high right now is like 78, 80 degrees. I would say from December through February. December, January, February, even some of March. For 4 months, the weather here would be like Florida. Really nice. You get an ocean breeze right off the South China Sea. During the rainy season, yeah, it rains. And it gets hot here, though. It really does. Like the rest of the Philippines, I found in April, May, June, there's no clouds, and the temperature just goes, wow. Max, thanks for subscribing. Me? Know what I'm doing? No. You saw how this live stream started. I and I'm like, oh, bright light. And I end up walking down a street and I do some walk and talks where and the thing is a lot of people like to watch it. And I tell you what, it's given me comments. People are like, hey, I really like this. And I go there and there's been 10 just religiously great subscribers. And Kevin Nash is one of them. They're so interested in the Philippines. And I really like to share and show people that, if you're sitting in your home country, and I'm American, so I often say a lot addressed to American people, but UK, Australia, I got people in India, Japan. If you are where you are and you're not happy, make plans, do that jump, because I did a year ago and I got no regrets. I mean, it's really nice, really nice. So let's see here. China Dave. China Dave Upland. I just subscribed. I'll check you out. My question is, how many boards do you have and what sizes? All right, a fellow surfer. Okay, so when I came here, I didn't bring any boards because I planned on going back in June, but that pandemic hit and, I couldn't go back and get my boards. So I foot board. It was actually brand new. I used it here on my 30-day trip. And then when I came back, I just ended up buying it. So when I first used it, it was new. I'm a bigger guy, as you can tell. I like to eat here. They got good food. Somebody's in the room. Yes, he does. But I surf a 9 foot. It's a 9 foot by 23 wide, and I'm a bigger guy, so it's 3.5 inches thick, or not 3.5, about 3 1/8 thick. And then I had one made here, which was really cool. They got this guy named Tick Boy, and I gave him the dimensions, just how I wanted it, the rocker, channels put in the bottom, how many fins I wanted, even picked the color, everything. He made it like it would be in the U.S., just right to my specifics, chined rails, everything. I'm talking kind of specific just to you, China Dave, because you probably understand all those things in your boards. But if you come here, you can support locals and just have one made. You don't have to ship it here. Now, I know a lot of people like their brand or their shaper and everything. And if you want to bring that here, but you can get a board made for, $500 Well, a brand new longboard is 27,000 pesos. And that's choosing your fin setup. That's custom board. So that's like 540 bucks, something like that. So I only ride, to answer your other part, I only ride 9 foot or above just because I'm older now and I'm just a longboarder. Bob Wormager. Hey, thanks for the question. How far from Baguio City? 2 hours. By car, 2 hours. 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours by car. If you're fast and got a lead foot, you can probably do it quicker, or if you're on a Harley or something. But I just go maybe 20 minutes south on the main highway, take a left, and the highway takes you right up to Baguio. And that was another plus for being here, is I can be up in Baguio in 2 hours. So when the waves are small, you got something else to do. Darren Travels, thanks for putting up my YouTube channel there. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are out there and looking at other places, you're not set on where you want to retire. Or maybe you're just open to, you want the ocean, but you want a good amenity of hospitals, malls, and everything else. Check out this area. Bill Pruitt. I've actually encountered many people that will seek me out just to practice English. Yeah. How well they speak it seems to be like a status symbol. My wife gets jealous when her friends swerm me. Yeah, I when I'm on the beach, I'm just people. I'll come up and say hi, and then they'll say, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from the States." Where? And I'm like, "California." And they're like, "Oh, I have 3 cousins there, a nephew, a niece, or whatever," and they want to speak English. Some are kind of shy, but I find most people, they really like to speak English. And I don't know if it's a status symbol or not, but some people are more apt to wanting to speak English than others here. But yeah, that's a great comment there, Bill. Thanks. Hey, Mark, glad to see. You live with So. Hope you guys are doing good. DJ. DJ, I know DJ. He's been on my channel for a long time. Thanks, DJ. Hey, thanks for being here. I forget, DJ. I think you're out in Vegas. I know he's a surfer and a boogie boarder, and grew up in Huntington Beach, Orange County area. China Dave, Upland. All right. I would go to Riverside all the time for meetings when I worked for the state. That was our office. So really close to Upland. I will say, the one thing I miss from the United States is Wahoo's fish taco. God, I would just die for their bajaladas with rice and beans. Okay, got a question here. Hi. For how long are you planning to stay in the Philippines? That's a good question. I plan on retiring here now. I've done a year, and there is some trials and tribulations, but I plan on making this my my home. I like to make it my home, but I like to go home and visit my family. I have a son and a daughter that are in California, and they're older and they're grown up and just finishing up college, one of them. And I have a brother in Portland. So I kind of plan on living here for 10 months, and then maybe 2 months I would head on down, to the States, and yeah, maybe I could go home for, Thanksgiving and Christmas, So I plan on living here, but I plan on spending 2 months out of the year going home. Bob. Hey, Bob, thanks for the question. What got you from thinking about making the move? So many were watching to actually moving. Was there a specific catalyst or event? Yeah, that's a good question. So there was series of events that made me take that final jump. I don't know if I said earlier in the live stream this, but I'll just recap it just for you, Bob. I had a good friend pass away that I played music with. He was 60, and I was like, wow. And I was 50. I just turned 50. And when you turn 50 for the state of California, you can retire if you're in a certain tier. And you don't get as much money, but you can. So the combination of turning 50, and I was eligible, a good friend passing away, that it made me think about, my end game. Like, how long do I have left? What do I want to do with the rest of my life? My kids are, grown up and doing their things. And are you happy? Those kind of questions. And my mom passed away. So I had two people that were very close to me pass away. And I wasn't really, I was at the end of my career. I didn't really feel like I was making any kind of big movements. There wasn't in my career that I wanted to grab. And, basically it's a combination of things. Enjoying life, a couple people passing away, and I just feel like I needed a change. And I wanted to surf more. That's another thing. Like, I lived, at the time, when I retired, I lived in Bakersfield, California. And I don't know too many people, I know Paul knows Bakersfield because he's talked about Fresno and stuff, but it's a dusty town. And I'm a surfer. I want to live near the ocean. And it was 2.5, 3 hours away, but I miss surfing. And then I knew once I pulled the plug and I retired, if I came to the Philippines, to this area, I could surf and have pretty much my standards of life in the U.S. But not just that, you have all the time in the world to. Okay, that's a good question. It was just to sum it up, there was a combination of many things. I got another question. Avi Ben Izera. Hey, mate, from Hong Kong. All right. You're not too far. What are the gyms like there? I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor, and I'm curious about if the local expat... You know what? MMA. You know what? It's big here. So that's another reason I chose this area. There's a great gym. I actually ride my mountain bike there. But there's a gym here. It's called Sayabel. And if you're interested in that gym in this area and about jiu-jitsu, they have that there, MMA. And when I go work out there, the whole 4th floor is just that, MMA. Every time I'm up there, they have a big mat, they have a punching bag, they have the thing, and there's instructors up there. And every time I'm up there, and believe it or not, 50% of the time, it's a girl. And so there's one-on-one training for jiu-jitsu. I haven't seen them rolling on the floor like doing jiu-jitsu. They were doing more like punches and kicks. It looked more like taekwondo maybe. But I'm sure they do that too, the ground game. But yeah, I mean, there's a gym here, Sayabel Gym. Look it up on the internet. Ciabel. My vlog, sorry. I look up Sayabel Gym in all my videos, and I do 2 videos there where I go and do a workout, and I go around all the equipment, and you can see the mat there and the punching bags and all the stuff there. So yeah, it's big. They do it. There's boxers here too. I see a couple boxers sparring and stuff. So I'm more of just like an elliptical, and I go to the gym when the waves are small. And but if you're here for that MMA, yeah, there's a gym. If you go to a bigger city, you got a lot of gyms like that. But here there's just one gym. Eric Lee, Can a veteran with no service disabilities receive medical care from a VA in the Philippines? So I'm not an expert on this field, but I'll give you my experience. Like Paul says, I'm not going to give advice, but I'll give you my experience. I had to apply for disability. I have hearing loss in right ear and then some in the left, and I had to go get a hearing test and show I had hearing loss, and then you turn that all into the VA, and then I got 10%. So you can, what you got to do. He says, can a veteran with no service disabilities receive medical care? You might want to reevaluate. I mean, if you have a back problem or something, you can go get evaluated by. But you can't get medical care unless you have a certain percentage, and I think 10% is the minimum. That's all I have, just 10%. But later on, as I age and I have other problems, and if it's related to my military, I was an engineer in the Navy, so I was down what we called the hole, where the engine is, and I did air conditioning, refrigeration, and when you're down there, the equipment's really loud. Even though you wear hearing protection, sometimes you're down there and things light off all of a sudden, like a pump or whatever, and then you have to put it on. You got hearing protection, and I wore hearing protection and everything, but you get the noise. I was around loud equipment, and when you're around that for a long time, you get hearing loss. And some people get tinnitus. That's also related. But I think it's kind of no. You can't go to the VA unless you're rated. You got to have at least 10%. So what I recommend is you go, you're a veteran, go get checked out, Go to your local VA, tell them you're a veteran, and there's lots of people that help you to get evaluated. Darren Travels, thank you for putting a link there. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in living in the Philippines, and my channel isn't about like relationships and stuff like that. It's more about kind of living here and real life stuff. Like I recently got a Philippine driver's license, and I'm going to put that video up. We go out and celebrate. We celebrated at KFC. But I talked about the process, and I failed the first time because I needed 4 months on my visa. So I talk about real life, your goods and bads here. I don't paint it as like totally rosy. I mean, like I failed at getting the driver's license, not the test or anything, but I got it fixed. Is west side of island better surf or east? All right. Hey, Bill Murphy, thanks for the question. You know what? It depends on the season. So here, well, the seasons are kind of, I would say the west side being the, I don't know. The Pacific side can get bigger surf because it's open to an ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So Siargao gets bigger waves. Here on the China Sea side, it's a sea. It's a smaller body of water. And it really depends on the season. So I'll say here the surfing season is the winds change and they come from the north, and there's a term for that. I can't remember. But you get this downflow from Hong Kong and Japan flowing down, and you get this wraparound effect from typhoons and stuff. And from October, November, December, January, February, for 5-6 months, you get the north swell here in Laonian, and then it ends. Then the winds change. July, August. So pretty much 9 to 10 months out of the year, you get swell here. You get more swell, but not as big here on the west side, on the China Sea side. And on the Pacific side, there's just a specific season, like 6 months. And I can't remember the exact dates of it, but they have their own season. So your question is West Side Island, let's see, is West Side of Island better? I don't know about better. It's different, and there's different times. I would say they're about the same. I would say size. Size matters. You get a slightly bigger surf on the Pacific side than on this side, but we get more consistent surf. How's that? How do you haul your board? Okay, that's a good question. So, thanks, Bob. I bought a 2006 Mitsubishi Space Gear, and it had surf racks on it. That's part of the reason I got it. I locked in on the deal right before pandemic, and I've had to do some work on it and stuff, but it has surf racks. But I just throw my longboard inside of it because it's big enough. There's a guy in San Fernando. He makes surf racks custom for any car here. So if you do come down here and you want to, and you have a rental car, you can have soft racks or whatever. But I can show you a place to get racks made for your car if you move down here and get into surfing. But yeah, I just put it inside my van. And all the breaks from where I live are within a 10 to 20 minute drive. So that's how I haul it around. I do have surf racks. I don't use them. I've used them like once. That's it. But it's funny, like trikes here have a surf rack on top of the trike. That's how big surfing is here. So you'll see a trike loaded with 2 or 3 surfers in there. And Joe Banana, the space van rules. Yeah, it has a name, Sandy. But you'll see trikes here so like if you have your board and you don't have a car, you just get a trike, and any of the local trikes have a little pad up there. You put it on there, and they'll strap it down to their trike, and off you go. Mark, any bicycle stores in San Juan that rent out bikes? You know what? There's a brand new place. It's on a video. Look at the video that when I get my Space Gear van repaired, and I go next door, and they sell them. But you know what? If you were to talk to them, place that sells them. How's that? So no real places that rent. If you were out here visiting, sure, I'd be willing to rent you one of mine. But you can pick up a really great quality mountain bike if you're here for like over 2 weeks, for $200. I mean, really nice, like the disc brakes, Shimano shifters, everything. I got mine for, how much was it? A little over 200. I got mine for $220, whatever that is in pesos. Yeah, that's US dollars. And you could use it for the time you're here, and right before you go, you could sell it. So that's what I would do. But there is maybe going to be a place that's going to rent in Urbestando after the pandemic. Bike rental. Right now, no. If you want to buy one, they're cheap. Use it. Sell it before you go. I could help you. La Bonita. Would you recommend it for a few days? You know what? I've been there. And I don't remember, and I'll vlog it. Isla Bonita is a cool little spot. It's only maybe a 10-minute walk from where I live, right here. It has a little pool. They have a pool table. I haven't seen inside their rooms, but it is clean. I know they had a restaurant, And I met the owner there briefly. And they have a really cool Kubo setup, beachfront. So yeah, I haven't stayed there, but I could check it out for you. If you message me privately, I'll go over and check it out and maybe vlog a room for you, film it. I'm Alex. Is Final Option. Very good, just down the street from me. Awesome hotel. Scenic view. They're really nice. And then some down in Urbistando is, if you surf, I recommend Little Surf Maid Hotel. It's right in front of the surf break. 2,000 or 3,000 pesos a night. You can look at they have a Facebook page, and you can look at their rates. A few others that I could recommend you would be like Mona Lisa, Sea Bay. Those are all really good. If you message me privately, I can tell you about, some apartments. They're up on the hillside that you can get for a longer term, like 3 or 4 weeks or a month. They're like 1,500. Let's see, Bill Pruitt. What's the hardest thing you've had to adjust to there? Mine was learning to get around like locals do. I have a car, so I don't really have a problem jumping in the car and going anywhere. I also have a mountain bike. But to answer your question, what's the hardest thing I had to adjust to here? I would say probably the thing that, is the hardest thing for me to adjust to is the heat during the summer months, during April, May, and June. Well, it was like Florida here, and then all of a sudden it was like bacon. and you couldn't really leave the apartment, and I only had AC upstairs. So the heat for me was a big adjustment. You kind of have to learn to get up early here, and I'm not a morning person, am I? She's like, no. The best way to adjust to that for me would be to get up really early, go surfing. It's not too hot in the morning. And then when the sun's out, like around 10, 11, from 10 till 4, be at home, take a nap, watch TV, be in the AC, and then go out again in the evening. But this time of year, March, daytime's fine, evening, it's actually kind of chilly at night here. Lee! So, what's up, Lee? It's funny, there's like all these people that are popping up that have commented on my channel. I'm surprised you guys know I'm here. Hey, Lee, shout out to you. Thanks for watching my channel. It's cool to have you over here. I feel like I'm doing my own live stream. This is only like the third time I've ever been online. I did one live stream, and I walked down to the beach, and I was like, hey, let's do a live stream. And Sal was like, sure. Just hanging out, huh? Yeah, me too. There's that bird of Lee's. Rusty and Dutch, what did you do for a job in the USA? I worked for the state of California, and I was in tax compliance. And I know that's like yuck. And anyway, it was a job, and I did diesel fuel tax compliance for many years, and then I switched to sales tax, and then I did some cigarette tax enforcement at the end, and 24 years of state service, I was done. I did my service. Plus, I was in the Navy for over 4 years. I got out with honorable discharge and everything. I was a nuke in the Navy. I don't know if you guys know what that was, but I went into the nuclear program, decided that wasn't for me, and I was a machinist mate in the Navy also. Darren, you're cool to pop up my vlog like that. Thanks. Informal settler. You're the best, bro. Hey, thanks. I'm just an average Joe. Pun intended. Here, over here, you get called Joe a lot. Hey, Joe. And I'm like, hey. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, I appreciate it. So if anybody else has any other comments, feel free to pop them up there. Anything on food or restaurants, nightlife, other things to do other than surfing. Here, you have diving too. If you're a diver, they got a dive shop. And there's great hiking. There's mountain biking. Andrew B., where in the Philippines are you? Okay, so as a reference, La Union is a province north of Manila. I'm on the northern part of the Philippines, on Luzon, the main island, and I am 5 hours drive north of Manila, and I'm on the China Sea side. So if you look it up on the Philippines, up on Luzon and take a left, and I'm right there on the China Sea. So Luzon area, it's in the province, and my city is called San Juan, La Union, and the capital of La Union is right there in San Fernando, which is 10 minutes south of me. So anyway, that's where I am, San Juan. If you hear this term LU, that's stands for La Union. So if you ever hear LU, that's what they mean, La Union. It's just an abbreviation. Lee, the hardest thing I had to get used to the drivers. Yeah, the drivers here. You know what? I mean, I listened to Paul's channel and everything, and a couple others, and it's kind of like a controlled chaos. And there's another vlogger that says that, and it is. When you're driving, and I'm kind of traveled. I used to go down to Mexico a lot, and the driving in Mexico is kind of like here. I'd go down to Puerto Vallarta area for surfing, and I'd rent a car, and the outside, you had to be on the outside to take a left to go. It was very strange. I don't know that Paul, the streets. It is a challenge here, the driving. John S. See here, Paul. You do not look the same without your glasses. Let's see. I don't know. Could be for somebody else. It could be for Paul. Probably for Paul. Anybody else? Any questions? Just go ahead and feel free to shoot. I'm not a morning person. Only had 2 cups of coffee. So, but Paul was like, "Hey, let's do 8," and I'm like, "Okay." Darren Travels. What is your best and worst experience since arriving to the Philippines? Oh man, good questions. Okay, best. Best and worst. Let's start it off with positive. I've had a lot of best. I'm just going to pick one. I would say I have a top 3 bests. One is probably, I'm going to go with one because I kind of moved here for surfing. My best experience is surfing at Carril. Carril is a beach which is near San Fernando. It's actually in San Fernando, and it only breaks when the waves are really big. And I've caught a wave at Carril at the point and took There we go, I'm back. I took off on a wave and I rode it for 1 minute and 15 seconds. and that was really fun. But I'll give you top three. How's that? That was one. There's one day where I was getting 1 minute and 15-second long rides surfing. Another one is there's some waterfalls here I've been to. They're really beautiful, Tongadan waterfalls. I was lucky enough to be there when there was barely anybody there. I jumped off into these really clear water pools. It's only 30 minutes from here. And meeting Sal. It was pretty funny. It was one of my most cherished moments. Just walking down the beach, and I met my girlfriend there, and it was fun. Let's see. Those are my top three, and then worst. Okay, I can give you the worst. That's easy. So I bought this space gear van, and Sal's laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. So I went downtown, and I was going to buy some stuff at the market. And this is in San Fernando. Now, San Fernando has a square. So I get in downtown, and the thing dies on me. And I'm telling you, it was so busy. It was like lunchtime. It's downtown San Fernando at the square, and my car will not start. And I'm in the square. So I get out of the car, and I'm pushing a big, huge space van with my girlfriend, who's helping to push. This is a big van. It seats 8 people. And it's hot out, I'm sweating. I can feel the sweat rolling down my back. And I push it into a stall. And some people made some room. I pour some water on the... Anyway, I get it started. And I'm revving the engine. I'm like, I just want to limp this thing back home, right? And what had happened is my water pump had went out. And it was leaking, and it got my water low, and it overheated. So anyway, long story short, I added some water and everything. I get the thing started, and it's idling rough, and I couldn't believe it, but I could keep it going with the gas pedal. So I'm rolling down the road, and Sal's like, "Okay, stop! I'm gonna get in," and I'm like, "I can't stop. You gotta run and jump in the van." And she's like, "What?" And so we're downtown San Fernando. It's like 100 degrees out. I'm revving the engine to keep it idling and stuff, keep it going. And she had to run and jump in a moving van as I'm going down the street. Get this thing home. It was a nightmare. But I did limp it home. And that was my worst experience. She's my girlfriend. We've been dating for about a year, 11 months or so. I find these videos so interesting as it seems a mecca for older guys to have young Filipino wife or girlfriend. Yeah, I met Sal on the beach. So I came here, and I came here really for surfing and for the cost of living. I just didn't want to work anymore, and I knew I could live on my minimal, pension. And I happened to meet Sal after I got here. So I'd been here for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was just out for my normal walk on the beach at night during sunset. And there was 3 ladies sitting on the beach, ranging from 32 to 42. And they said, "Hey, come on over, have a beer, join us for the sunset." And I was like, "Well, let me finish my walk." And so I kept walking, and I said, "Later, on the way back." So I walked down to the end, and then I turned around. I'm walking back, and they still, "Hey, come on over." And I'm like, well, who am I to say no? I didn't know anybody. I moved here. I didn't know anybody. One surfer I had met 15 years ago. I did know him. But besides that, I didn't know anybody. And so I said, okay. So I sat there. They had a towel, and they had their little puppy on the beach. They were drinking some Red Horse. They had snacks. And I thought I was just going to have a beer, and then they were going to go. And it turned into like a 4-hour beach party. And that's how I met Sal. I know that was
Oh, okay. Well, we with my guest today, and I couldn't hear him, so I was listening on the earbuds. But I wanted you guys to get introduced to him, and I think he's off the stream, so he may have lost his internet. And so, anyway, it could have been, yeah, Darren could have been a brownout on his end. I don't know. His connection has been funky since the beginning, but I want to thank you guys for coming along today and meeting my guest, Mark. I hope you guys will subscribe to his channel. You know, him and I have never talked before. And so we chatted for a little bit last night. We will probably, I'll probably end the broadcast now. May got some place for me to go and look at. And what we're going to do is I'm going to call him after I end this, and him and I will chat a little bit. But what I learned from it is how similar him and I are. In other words, he came here for many of the same reasons that I did. His motives are pretty much the same, and so I really want to thank you, dude, for coming along. And oh, there you are. I'm going to throw you back up here. And I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And yeah, the internet's a tad wonky today. But so if you would just sign off, buddy, and then I'll give you a call after we're done.
Okay, I'll just say goodbye to everybody here. Hey, thanks for joining. Really enjoyed, answering questions and everything. Thank you again, Paul. I really appreciate you taking time. And, he's a great guy, and I've been a long time watcher of his channel. I'll let him go. I think he has something to do with May. But I just want to say, really, thanks for watching. If you want to check my channel, I have over 170 videos, day-to-day life, not just surfing, restaurant reviews, other places I go. I plan on going to a waterfalls and, just a bunch of other things to do around here, maybe even scuba diving. So if you want to check out my channel, it's San Juan La Union Vlog. Again, San Juan La Union Vlog. And if you just search that in the search bar on YouTube, you'll find it. And if you contact me on my channel, if you plan on moving to the Philippines and you have questions, feel free to contact me and ask me anything. I have budget videos for this area and just useful information. Yeah, there it is. Darren Travels. You got it right there. So thanks again, Paul. If you can hear me, it's kind of a wonky type, interview because we're having some audio problems earlier, but I think everybody kind of got the gist of this area. I really like this area, and if you have any other questions about this area, feel free to contact me. I have an email on my About page on YouTube. And hey, Mike, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. It's only like my third live stream. It's my first collaboration online, so I was a little nervous. But I'm going to do some live streams too, just once a week. And if you go over to my channel and subscribe, I love subscribers, but check it out, see if you like it. I'll do a live stream once a week. And I do kind of the same thing, Paul's approach is just kind of tell it like it is over here. Don't sugarcoat anything. But I'm going to let Paul go ahead and turn it off. I don't want to go too long. I think it's at an hour and a half. And I'm going to go get some breakfast. Thanks again for watching. Check my vlog out. And hey, Darren, thank you for your military service. Thank you. Yeah, I was in the Navy. Thanks to Roger. Roger's down in Kurill. He just lives like 20 minutes from me. he was watching. And thanks, Lee, for showing up. And all of Paul's viewers, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. Maybe Paul will have me on another day. Adios, everybody. Bye.
All right, kids. Thanks for joining in. Sorry for the audio. Sorry for the crazy internet. We'll get it. We'll get it right one of these days. All right, kids. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later. Bye.